Well, we knew that the results were going to come out on Tuesday. That was, August 27, kasi 26 was a holiday. August 27 was going to be the release of the board. So I was in a rush. I wanted to finish seeing all my patients so that I could be ready in case I get a call. Because I was excited to get the call from, and it came at 4:29 p.m. I have it. I saved it on my phone. It's 4:29 p.m. One of the members of the Board of Medicine called to say congratulations, and that the ASMPH made 100% passing rate in the licensure exam. So I started screaming because I was talking to him on the phone. I said, "Oh my God!" And so it was like slow motion after that, because I saw Dr. Dayrit running out of his room, parang slow-mo. Tapos si Marife also running out of her room. And then they were saying, what? But I was still on the phone. And I was writing because he was dictating to me who were the students who went into the top 10. So we had Ruth, Divine, and Pam for number 3 and number 9 respectively. So my first reaction was to really, I think, I cried. I cried because I was just very happy. It was a wonderful affirmation, I guess, from the Lord, from God Himself, no, na there's definitely something right that we are doing in ASMPH.
Well, of course, we were very, very happy. I heard a shriek in the other room, and it was Lou. But we were in communication over the weekend, and so it was a vigil, so to speak. And because of the typhoon, the announcement was delayed, and we hadn't heard about how things were going with BRC. So we were a bit concerned that it was taking some time. So, well, I guess the first reaction was really just jubilation, and we went out into the corridor, and Lou, Marife, and I sort of hugged each other. First, from the jubilation, I think a sense of gratitude, that really gratitude to everyone who contributed, including the faculty, the administration, of course the staff, and everybody, including the students who helped with the board preparations and were there during the board exams to support the students. And of course then a sense of pride for the school, considering what had been accomplished. It's interesting because on May 2nd, which was really my first day of work, was really the day that we launched the Pugad Agila, which is 100 days before the boards. And I was very new, and we were trying to, you might say, drum up a lot of the energy for the review. And I remember saying there that I think we're going to go 100%, and maybe 2 or 3 will make it to the top 10. Of course, this was wishful thinking on my part, on that my first day of work as dean. And the fact that it came true, I think was more luck than really, you might say, scientific deduction. But the fact that it came true was very, very satisfying. Certainly the formation is different. The way that the school has been designed, the way that people who designed the curriculum took meticulous care to bring in the formation, the values formation for the students, steeped in Ignatian spirituality, steeped in service to others, steeped in sharpening the sense of one's self-awareness about what your mission is as a physician, and how you should convert this to service for others. Stemming from that formation, I think we leave it to the student to discern his path forward. As they do that, we think that we have given them the tools to move in the direction that they want to go. Certainly, the direction of leadership is one of them, to be able to make a difference in whatever area of expertise or competence that they want to move into, whether in clinical practice, public health, public service, and so on and so forth, wherever they are. Of course, it is our hope that many of them will serve in this country for a good part of their careers. As this is a global environment, we will expect them to be able to travel, to work abroad, to study abroad, maybe to live abroad. But it's always the giving back that we hope that they're able to do, whatever their destinies bring them, wherever their destinies bring them. The first 5 to 6 years was really laying the foundation. And one of the foundations there was a strong curriculum that actually integrated medicine, public health, and management. Therefore, giving the students the skills for being outstanding clinicians, outstanding managers, as well as social catalysts. Now, that foundation is set. The first 2 batches of students have shown us that not only can they pass the board, but also when they come out of medical school, they have the skills to actually move in the directions beyond clinical work. Okay. Many of them will, in fact, be working in the clinics for a certain number of years because they're going to take up residency positions. But we know that beyond those years, they will be moving into leadership positions. So I guess the question you're asking is, how do we strengthen from that foundation? I think what we're moving into now, particularly under my term, is we're trying to strengthen the research basis and the research productivity within the school, so that even the students, aside from being clinicians and leaders, develop the skills for generating knowledge and for translating it into their line of work. So this is the rigor of science, okay, as provided to them through research activity. So that's one of them. And of course, the other is we would like to, as much as possible, maintain a certain, you might say, a certain blend of scholars in the school, so that it's a way also of rewarding and giving a chance to gifted students who may not be able to afford the tuition to be able to come to the Ateneo and become a physician for others. I think the experience of the last 2 years has been very positive. Our scholars have certainly done very well. In fact, Ruth, who was the third placer for the board, is a scholar, okay, and actually appreciates what she has received because of this scholarship. Well, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of our benefactors, the donors who provided scholarships for our scholars, particularly those who just graduated and passed the boards. Without their help, many of the scholars would not have been able to make it, and therefore our deep gratitude to them for their generosity and for what they have done, not only for the students, but certainly for the school.
So, I chose Ateneo because I also came from Ateneo for college, and then in my experience, during my college experience, I realized how much Ateneo gives to its students, the support, the guidance, how they train their students, how they help their students develop into the best people or individuals they can be. Parang, it made me realize na nung nag-open yung Ateneo School of Medicine and Public Health, parang why not, diba? I should apply to in Ateneo because it will help me reach my my dream of becoming a doctor.
So in my case, I had to decide late. I had to decide after NMAT, and the other medical schools were closed then. And then I received the news that Ateneo actually opened a medical school. And like Pam said, I also had very good experiences with the Ateneo community, particularly the way they help mold us not just into good professionals, but also excellent persons, holistic persons, and community-oriented persons. So that was what made me decide to go to Ateneo Med School. In addition, I also was offered a scholarship. So my family's finances are actually rocky, so that was the best gift that could have been given to me right after my education in Ateneo College.
In my case, yes. Ever since I was a little girl, that's the profession that I've wanted to pursue. I guess because being a doctor or medicine is a noble profession. Aside from assuring myself and my family financial security, parang it's really about giving or providing service to the citizens of the Philippines.
In my case, my family had experienced the typical challenges of a Filipino family. So we did not have access to healthcare. The nearest hospital was about 2 hours away, and the doctor wasn't accessible during times of typhoons. When my sister had asthma, they would have to bring her to the city, which was 2 hours away. So it was really personal. The dream was molded in a personal way. And this dream eventually began to grow when I saw how doctors actually serve the people. It's not, like Pam said, it's not for financial gain, but more of service. So it was also imbibed in me by my parents that the best way to live your life fully is through service.
What province are you?
I'm from Isabela. It's a mountainous place, but there are plains. And it's mainly an agricultural province.
Do you plan to go back to Isabela once?
Yes. My roots are there, and I plan to go back because the province and my fellow men there need medical care. I think the entire medical school experience was the best. Well, I really have nothing to compare it with because I didn't go to any other med school, but I think this is the best. Being with our family, the medical school community, and being with our colleagues and our friends, and learning from so many mentors who were willing to teach us. That was the best experience for me.
In my case, I guess the best experience throughout those 5 years was the recent few months, the months before the board exams, because during that time, that was the time that we really felt the love and support given by the Ateneo community. In comparison with other med schools, where parang they let go of their students after graduation, parang medical graduates are left by themselves to prepare for the boards or to prepare for their future career. Parang we reviewed together. We went through ups and downs together. So I guess that was the best experience because parang we were together, and then the school really guided us, supported us during the most crucial or most trying time perhaps in one's medical career.
So you guys mentioned about preparing for the board exam. How did you guys prepare for it?
Aside from the review class we were enrolled in, during my free time, I would alternate between studying alone at home and studying out with friends. Basically, that was my routine.
In my case, I usually stay at home after the review classes and then spend it drawing stuff. And I think I'm not the person, I wasn't the person to review from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's not like that for me. I had to take rests in between subjects because I lose interest easily. And I think one of my guilty pleasures was actually watching Korean novela in between. So I was able to finish siguro 1 episode, 2 episodes per week. I think it's important to relax and just try to consolidate everything.
Were you guys expecting that you would be part of the top 10 of the board? Were you really aiming for it?
No. I didn't expect it. I prayed to get a good grade. Specifically, I prayed for a score of 85% and above. I didn't know if that would be enough to be part of the top 10, but that was my prayer. So I feel very blessed that I got more than what I hoped for, prayed for.
In my case, I also didn't expect it. People were actually prodding me to do my best and just top the boards, but I just wanted to perform well and do well in the exam. So for the glory of those people who have supported me and for the glory of God. And actually my prayer was to please make our batch get 100%. That was the most important prayer. And anything else is just really a gift. It's just the icing on the cake. The most important thing was to get 100%. And the batch actually proved it. I'm very proud of our batch.
So, what field of medicine were you guys planning to specialize in?
Internal medicine.
I'm also interested in internal medicine. I have always seen medicine as something that involves not only treating people and making them well, but also healing them, touching their hearts, changing their lives. And we can do this through many things. We can do this through many fields of medicine. But I think one of the most marginalized groups in terms of patients are actually the adults, because they are the ones who are taking care of their kids or of their grandparents, of the elderly, and they forget how to take care of themselves. And by pursuing internal medicine, I would like to focus on this group, since they're the ones who are actually making things flow smoothly in the country, making our economy run.
It's also the same. What's next for us? So what's next for me? I recently applied for an internal medicine residency training program in a hospital that I won't mention the name of the hospital. Hopefully I get in. If not, let's see. Siguro in the near future, I'm also interested in teaching. I'm not yet sure if I want to teach in another med school or teach in a review class, but basta I want to get into teaching also.
We have actually similar plans. So I also applied for an internal medicine residency, and I think getting the training in internal medicine would actually help me build my confidence in healing people, particularly in our province. And in 10 years, my vision of myself is to be among the people who really need me in the province.
Siguro the major core value of Ateneo is Magis or pursuing excellence. I think the mere fact that we pursued medicine, parang it's really Magis kasi learning medicine is a lifelong endeavor. It's parang doesn't stop. Now that we have passed the board exams, our medical journey doesn't end here. And we have to constantly improve on our craft, gain more knowledge, improve how we deal with other people, our patients, our colleagues, our mentors. So they're in constant learning.
It's constant pursuit of excellence. I agree with Pam, and I also think that by becoming doctors, we are actually trying to live the ideal of being always in service to our countrymen. Because in Ateneo, we learned that we shouldn't pursue things not just for ourselves, but also for other people. And then it's for the other person, for the other people we should live for. And that is actually the essence of being a doctor. Service.